Question: what does Crockett, Hannibal Smith and the evil Decepticons have in common? Well, if you was around in the 1980s, you'll remember Miami Vice, the A-Team and Saturday morning TV, The Transformers. But the real question is this: do you remember the soundtrack of the 1980s? Hi, I'm Alistair. Join me as we turbo boost back to a decade which is long gone and dig out some of the coolest jams from the decade of the 80s. We'll dig out some of the hits from 1980 to 1989 on Flashback 1980s and have a bit of a recap of what you might have been buying and watching. So join me, Alistair, for a trip back to the 1980s this weekend.
The 80s experience across Halifax.
Hits and headlines from one great year from the decade of the 1980s. But what year are we talking about? It's the year we're all sat down watching BBC One at 5:30 for Charlene, Scott and Miss Mangle.
Phoenix FM.
The Australian TV soap Neighbours launches on BBC One this year. The new game show Catchphrase starts on ITV this year, hosted by Roy Walker. And Buckingham Palace announces the engagement of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. So then, what year are we talking about? Let's continue.
Phoenix FM.
On the big screen, you were watching Highlander. Johnny Five is alive this year.
Hey, honey, what is for dinner?
Short Circuit is one of the big films on the cinema, and one of the most craftiest kids in school knows how to pull a sickie.
You know that school policy.
Oh.
Was this your mother?
No, my wife's mother.
Ed Rooney's office.
Hi, this is Ferris Bueller. Can I speak to Mr. Rooney, please?
We was all watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off this year, and you were dancing and buying the hits from Wham, Edge of Heaven, Bananarama, Venus, and Steve Winwood, Higher Love.
Phoenix FM.
If you was a bit of a chain smoker this year, you were buying a packet of cigarettes which would cost you £1.51. At the petrol station, it would cost you 38.2 pence per litre, and for a box of 80 tea bags, it would cost you 46 pence. So the question is, what year are we talking about? Well, it's the year I left school.
The 80s experience across Halifax with Alistair on Phoenix FM.
I was the class of 1986. If you got the year right, well done to you.